Hi, I made a video a little while ago explaining how to create a puzzle using RFID sensors where you place certain tags lined up with the correct sensor and it unlocks a maglock. And I've had a couple of questions about that video that made me realise there was one part I possibly didn't explain very well about the wiring on the board. So this is just a very short video to explain that bit I might have missed off. And the questions were caused by people who had noticed these connectors here. I'm using RJ45 Cat5 patch cables to wire into the RFID sensors and to wire into the Arduino at the other end. And I think some people might have got confused into thinking that this was an Ethernet connected puzzle or that they needed an Ethernet shield or something like that. That's not the case at all. I am simply using RJ45 cables because I have an absolute ton of patch cables lying around the place. They're very cheap to buy and they're pretty convenient and they're easy to plug in and out. So if you have a prop that has components like these sensors that you might want to position some distance away from your microprocessor, from your Arduino or a Raspberry Pi, rather than running jumper wires like these all the way, I'm just using patch cables as a convenient way of transmitting data or power to particular components. So what I'm actually using here, if I show you them in a bit more detail, so they come in kind of two segments really. This is the connector itself. So this is an RJ45 little connector thing which I bought from eBay. You can see like that. And this is an RJ45 lead, and it simply plugs into there like that. And what it does is it exposes all of the 8 possible connectors that are going through the RJ45. It exposes them on these little pins here. Now those pins aren't a standard size to plug into a breadboard on their own, but you can also get, if I can just open the bag, one of these little things. So this is a breakout board that goes with that RJ45 connector, and if you solder that and that together, what you end up with is something that looks like this. So this is that RJ45 connector, and it is going onto the breakout board, and then the breakout board has these pins here, and what that means is that, I'll go back to my original puzzle again, you can now, at both ends of my RJ45 cable, I can just expose all of the cables here onto DuPont leads and wire them into my connector here, and at the other end I can wire them into my Arduino. So this is not an Ethernet puzzle, you do not need an Ethernet shield, it has no network connectivity at all. All it is doing is using Cat5 cables with RJ45 connectors at the end as a method to connect components together in a convenient way, because I just have loads of the cables lying around. So I hope that clears that up in case anyone was confused when they saw this puzzle and thought that it was Ethernet related. That's it. Thanks very much.